And then we get to the big craziness, which is the ending of the game where they go back and they murder Booker. How does this happen? How does this fix things? Okay. It's very crazy, very confusing. The main thing Elizabeth's trying to do is go back and kill Booker before he makes the choice. And there's multiple theories here, but I'm only going to give you the one that I think makes the most sense, is the most prominent, and is, I'm just going to say, the correct theory. Elizabeth goes and murders every Booker, but that is not the same as Booker killing himself or every Booker permanently being evaporated, because of the paradox that killing Booker creates. In order for Elizabeth to kill Booker, at least one of the Bookers must choose the baptism, must go forward in time to become Comstock, must then steal Anna, must then create Elizabeth to be this empowered, crazy monster, must then feel guilt, must then, with the Lutesses, bring in Booker, must then try to right the wrongs, must then go back in time and kill Booker. So that establishes a paradox where then nature will course correct itself. At least this is the theory as far as I understand and what makes the most sense to me. So to say it in a different way, in order for Elizabeth to exist to kill the initial Booker, there must have been a Booker that chooses the baptism. So it creates this strange paradox. Basically, nature freaks out, has an aneurysm, and just basically shuts off those timelines. And that's why at the end of the game, we see sort of the consistent timeline, which is Booker rejecting the baptism. So the variable of Booker going to the left and rejecting baptism, or going to the right and accepting baptism and becoming Comstock, is no longer a variable. It's become a constant. Elizabeth did not kill every Booker, eliminating the choice, but by killing every Booker, she eliminated the choice. And that's the hard part to wrap your heads around. I've seen some interesting graphs that make better sense of it that you can seek out. But you just have to accept these truths that are, when a paradox is created, nature will right itself. And so, while some people think no, Elizabeth only went and killed all the Bookers after he chose baptism and then murdered him so he couldn't become Comstock, that doesn't. I don't think it gels as well, and I don't think it effectively creates the 0% situation that the other version does, which Elizabeth kills all Bookers. And where she gained this knowledge of how to do this, I don't know. I don't know if she just got dumb lucky, or if she really was just omniscient now because she could see every universe at all times. But she kills every Booker in order to... Okay, now we killed Booker, and that makes the Elizabeths evaporate, because now the Booker who became Comstock no longer can steal Anna, no longer can raise Elizabeth. But remember that Elizabeth is the reason that happens, and therefore it creates this strange... I like to think of it as a spinning top, and the top is spinning so fast that it just explodes and poofs. And so you're left with a clean path, which is just now the top just goes straight down the line of Booker rejecting. And that's why you see at the end Booker getting there. And he has some strange cognitions of some remembrance of the events. He's like, Anna, is that you? He clearly has some... All the messing with the time-space continuum has clearly planted small seeds of remembrance in his mind. And, you know, there's the nosebleeds of a lot of characters when they're kind of remembering themselves in both places. And so that isn't too far-fetched to think that now Booker would maybe have some scant recollection of all these past lives and past selves. A couple other quick pieces that I forgot to mention, I'm interjecting back here that will give you some more insights, that Booker and Comstock are the same age. Comstock appears much older because of the excessive aging that looking at the tears caused, just like it affects his being sterile and his cancers and things like that. It advances aging at a very rapid rate. Now, why they have a different set of voices, I don't know. Comstock and Booker don't sound alike. Of course, they had to make some things to make the game work. You know, why doesn't Booker recognize that Comstock in the voxophones is talking about things that have happened to him, his dog named Bill, his experiences at Wounded Knee? You know, they brilliantly make it seem like Comstock's just this liar, and so maybe Booker buys into the fact that he's a huge liar and just doesn't even consider the possibility because it's so extreme and so against normal thinking that this man could be me. He doesn't think it, but some people do take issue with the fact that Booker never questions that. Furthermore, why is Comstock such this crazy racist? But Booker seemed to already have overcome that. And the theory is that by dealing with it himself, Booker somehow realized it was wrong. And Comstock, because of his whole religious motivation, justifies his absolution of sins as he's free to do what he wants now. He is cleansed. He is pure. He is he dealt with his guilt in a way of hiding it and just sort of shoving it under the rug, and now he has freedom to do whatever he wants, and that kind of evolves into this, I feel like I am emboldened and destined to do this and lead these people, and therefore my choices and my actions and my wrongdoings are permissible because God approves and because God has placed me on this earth, on this path for this specific reason to fulfill this specific destiny. Could Lady Comstock be Booker's wife from another dimension? Yes, I suppose that Comstock maybe went and grabbed his wife from another universe and brought her in, and she's Lady Comstock, but there's nothing really clear on that. And lastly, what the heck is going on with that man in the lighthouse? The prevailing thought is that that was placed there by Comstock, the dead guy with the bag over his head, placed there by Comstock to kill Booker. He took note of the Lutece's plans and wanted to prevent them, but the Luteces made note of the only obstacle, killed this man. They come back to that universe, kill him first before Booker gets there in order for Booker to go on his journey A-okay. One that I wanted to know was at the end, it seemed like you're still Booker. It seems like you're still the Booker who played the game, and how does killing him have any effect? But really, because they go through the Sea of Doors, because Elizabeth is now this omniscient sort of presence more than a girl, she's existing in all the universes simultaneously, Booker, we have to imagine, is the same thing. This is kind of the soul of Booker, the all Elizabeth. You know, it's the every Booker, it's the every Elizabeth, and that is how killing him has that effect, as opposed to I was left just completely confused, because, like, how does killing our player Booker do anything? But you have to think of it more as this ethereal sea of doors, and they're kind of just floating through time at their own leisure. And when Booker steps through those paths with Elizabeth, he basically becomes a conscience rather than a being. He's now a conscience as opposed to a specific Booker. He's now the all Booker, the every Booker. And so again, by killing every Booker, you create a paradox in which it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that can't exist anymore, and therefore it poofs and eliminates that portion of the timelines and basically course corrects itself to only have the ones that do make sense, and making the baptism a constant of all rejection.